Siren, where all my gems at?
Hey y'all, I bought these. These are the things I tell y'all about, which are the Bach therapies. They pull the essence of flowers, okay, in different plants, and they add them with like a water, and they also, let me see, purified water and glycerin, okay, is added to it, and it becomes a tonic. You can get these from your local, I got mine from Sprouts, okay. I think Whole Food has them as well. The ones that I got is Rock Rose, okay, Cherry Plum. I had the other ones, but I took them back because I didn't open it, but I took them back because it had olive in it, and I can't do olive. That one is Cherry Plum, and this one is Aspen. Okay, so basically, if you're somebody who suffers from anxiety, maybe you suffer from panic, maybe you suffer from worrying too much, or maybe you suffer from like, I can't do it, or what if I fail, or these are very good with up here, okay? Like this one, let me see. All right, this one is good to have courage, okay? So to help you to get started, or to help you to finish something that maybe you started but you didn't finish, or to just go after something maybe a little bit bigger than what you normally go after, all right? This one, Cherry Plum, that one is Rock Rose. Cherry Plum is be in control. Some of us, you know, we feel like we're out of control, or things are beyond our control. And there are some things that are actually in your control. It depends on your decisions. The decision that you make is how you can determine where you have control at. All right. And this one is Aspen. This one says to feel secure. So some people, you know, maybe you don't feel secure. Maybe you feel like you don't make enough money to get what you want. Sometimes we can want things that are way out of our, you know, what they call our budget, right? Oh, that's way out of my budget. Nothing is out of your budget, honey. Okay. You should never ask for something because it's already yours. If you adopt that mentality, like it's already mine, I just have to find a way to connect to it. I have to find a way to, you know, make it my reality, which is what we have to do. A diploma is already yours, but you have to take the steps to get it. You have to go to school for those 12 years. You have to, you know, graduate. You have to pass and graduate. And then guess what? It's yours. Everything you want, honestly, is already yours. You just have to take the necessary steps to get it, okay? So I don't ever feel like anything is out of my budget, okay? I didn't ever think I would own 2 vehicles, right? Especially my dream vehicle. I never used to think I would have well, I did. I did envision it when I was a young girl. I did. I always knew I was going to get me a little Range Rover. I always knew, but I didn't know when. Before I got my actual factual truck, I had a little bitty Range Rover toy that I had got from Amazon, and that was my dream car. And next thing you know, it was mine. I had my dream car. My husband was like, let's go look. And then I saw the one that I wanted, and he was like, get it. And it was just like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? And then for me to have my dream car plus my everyday car, and my everyday car was a Benz, like, y'all, listen, I ain't on here talking about, oh, I make $1 million and I make 500,000. Skirt. Siren ain't on here saying all of that. But what I do is make conscious decisions and take conscious actions towards manifesting my goals. Okay? That's what I will tell you, right? And that's what you have to do, you guys. You have to, when you are able to envision something, that means you already have access to it. Okay, whenever you could think about it and it's just like, you know, you already have access towards it. You just have to take the steps towards manifesting it. That's the next part. And that's where you have to have courage, okay, to take those next steps. Because one of the most important steps I had to take, I used to be like, oh my God, I used to process payroll, right? As one of the jobs I did, HR, benefits administration, and payroll, right? And I remember I used to process payroll for all of the corporate employees, and I would see their paychecks, and I'm like, oh my God, they make $120,000 a year. What would I do with that type of money? Oh my God, I would love to make $120,000 a year. I used to want to make six figures a year so bad, right? But I knew that the path towards making that happen and what I was doing, working for the corporate world, was going to be rather hard. One, because I did not, okay? I had a baby early, so I had to work to make a check. I didn't have time to go to college. I dropped out my second semester of college because my kids' father, my boys, their father ended up committing the S, okay? Which means your girl was not able to go to college anymore because I had to drop out of school, get 2 jobs, okay? And I had to support me and my kids on my own. That's a whole nother story. One day I will do a story time on that. But yeah, so it was just like, what I did was I went to the library and I checked out all the books that my college courses would have required from me. I got them books and I studied. I studied everything, HR administration, business administration, corporate laws, cafeteria plans, payroll. I checked out everything that I could and I taught myself. So when I went on an interview, even though I didn't have a degree, because I went for jobs that required a degree, you had to have at least a bachelor's. They didn't want, an associate's. The jobs that I applied for, you had to have at least a bachelor's degree. But I didn't have that. But when I went on an interview, I knew the cafeteria plans. I knew all of the payroll codes. I knew about taxes in different states. I knew all of the benefits administration terms and processing. What I didn't know was how to use their system because different companies use different systems. So what I did when I started working, I got in on the temp assignments first, right? So I would interview and they were like, oh, wow, okay, well, you know a lot. So they would hire me over people who had degrees, okay? So I had the knowledge. And when I got in, I would go through temp jobs and I would work for people who was on vacation or on maternity leave. And I would learn all of the systems. So when I went to apply for a full-time job, I knew all of the systems. I would look at what system they use for their, because they'll tell you you need to know ADP or, you need to know this system or that system. So when I would work for companies that had those systems, then by the time I got hired, I knew the system at all because I had studied it and learned it and used it, via the temp assignment. So I would get jobs, you guys, that were starting at $65,000, okay, a year with a degree, and I didn't have a degree. Okay, so yeah, when it came to my last job, I'm like, you know what, I could stick with this, or I just wanted more for myself. I was like, you know what, I really want to make 6 figures a year. So this is where I had to have courage, because sometimes those actions that it take to get to where you need to go are very tough. So this is where I had to have courage, you guys, and I resigned. Okay, I resigned from the workforce, from my job, full-time benefits. I had my own office. Okay, I had so much freedom, y'all. I could come and go as I please. I lived 10 minutes from my job. I could go home, you know what I'm saying, for an hour or 2 and go back to work, because it wasn't people came into my office a lot. A lot of people dealt with me via email, and a lot of our main companies, locations was out of state. So everybody dealt with me via email. The mall was literally 2 street lights up. I used to be in the mall all day, okay? Only time I really used to be in my office was when I had to process payroll and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just I had a dream. I had my dream job, y'all, right up the street from my house, great pay, what I'm saying, benefits, all of that stuff. And I wasn't content. I'm like, you know what? It will take me years, okay, to make 6 figures here. Meaning because I was there for 3 years before I resigned. And within my 3 years, I would get a raise every year, but the raise was only 3%. Okay. And then at the end of the year, our Christmas bonus was a $25 gift card. It really wasn't much. So I'm just do I want this or do I want more? So I knew I wanted to make what the CEO was making, because he was making $160,000 a year. I think, no, 30,000 a year. I'm sorry. And I knew I wanted that coin right there. And I decided to start my own business. I was like, you know what? I could go to another company, but I'm going to still, 1, have to start over, and then 2, it's still going to take probably about 15, 20 years before I start seeing 6 figures, if that. And that means I would have to get a promotion, because my job would cap out at a certain amount. The most you could make, would be $75,000. That was the highest they paid for that position. So it's I'm not going to make that anyway. So I decided to resign, y'all, and I started my own business. And when I started my own business, I remember my first month, y'all, I made $113. My first month, I was so happy. I was so happy. I was like, wow, like I made $113 of my own, like people who purchased from my business. I had an Etsy shop at that time. I was like, oh my God. And it was just like, the more energy I put into it, my business just started booming. And within a year, I was seeing double of what I thought I was gonna make with 6 figures. Okay, I was heading up and up and up, but with that comes a lot of outside energies that we don't really think of. When we think of, oh, we want to be successful, remember, the higher the level, the bigger the devil. Okay, so as I started climbing up that level, that devil got bigger and bigger to the point where you no longer see the devil. The devil was coming at you, but you won't know where it's coming from, who it's coming from. I started to get a lot of attacks on my business. People was attacking my website, meaning, there would be people who would start reporting. You don't even know who these people are. Like, why are you reporting my website? And, this and that. And then you have all type of weird technical difficulties that can happen. It's so much that go on in the spirit, on the spiritual side, y'all. You got a lot of haters. You got a lot of people in the industry that see you rising. I started to go into the spiritual community, what they call the spiritual community. Honey, they came for you, girl. Yes, they did. They was coming for old Sarah, honey. And I was just like, minding my business, all new into it. But in order to maintain that spot, in order to maintain that level, you guys, you're going to have to do some things that you probably don't think are moral. People who are in high positions, there are some sacrifices that you have to make. And sometimes your morals, okay, are going to have to be one of those sacrifices that you're going to have to make. And that doesn't feel good, So I kind of backed down a little bit. I had to check my morals. Do I want to go that far? Because when these people fight you, when these energies fight you, I want to say energies, when these energies fight you, you have to fight back, or either you have to bow down. Okay. And when they fight you, like if they come at you with a gun, you got to come back with a gun. You got to have a gun or something better if they coming at you with a gun. Okay. So a lot of people are going to come against you. And some of these energies, you will know where they come from, but majority of them, you will not know where they come from. Your success is kind of like the world gives off, like, honestly, like a dope block. You know what I'm saying? When there's one man who runs that whole block, he not going to let no outsider come and serve on his block. You know what I'm saying? Like, no. And even when it comes to that, when it comes to the dope game, a lot of them dope dealers have to pay off the police in order to serve. You know what I'm saying? They have to pay the police off. So it's kind of like you got to be willing to take your hard-earned money and, pay some people off in order for you to stay in the game, okay? Or you're going to be fighting a big fight and it gets tiring because they come from every angle and you never know where they're coming from. It's so not a fair game, but at the same time, it is a fair game because if you in it, you got to play to win, So I got back in it. I got back in it because that's my bread and butter. That's how I feed my family. That's my purpose. That's the gift God gave me, and I'm going to use it. When you use that gift God gave you, they can't with you, okay? They cannot mess with you, period, right? They will try, but they cannot stop you. When it comes to like jobs and stuff, oh yeah, they can mess with you all day. They could mess with you all day. But that gift God gave you, they didn't give it to you. That's yours. They can't take that. They can't stop you from using it. And majority of the time when you make money off of your gift, that's money that they really can't mess with, control how much you make. See, when you sign a contract with a job, they say, oh, we're going to pay you $40,000 a year. They don't give you a dime more than that. But when you step into your gift and you step into your purpose, there is no cap on how much you can make. I probably could have made $1 million a year if I would have went hard like that. You know what I'm saying? But I was new to the game. I was new to entrepreneurship. I was just getting my feet wet in it and stuff like that. And I had to learn, the hard way. But I'm grateful for every step that I took. And I'm grateful for every step that I take. It will come a day where you will be just so tired. You like, please, like enough is enough. When you get in this level of the game, y'all, and I ain't even make it to 7 figures yet, but when you first make your first 100,000, the other 900,000, it come kind of quick. It's breaking that barrier between 5 digits and 6. Once you go from 5 digits to 6 digits, you start at like 100,000, and then it goes up slowly but surely, but it goes up. You at 200,000, 300,000, 400,000. But once you get to that 900,000 and you ready to break into that $1 million level, there it is. You know, it's tough times that come with that, you know, and then you have to break that barrier and then move into the $1 million level. But with me going from the 5 digits to the 6 digits, you know, and going from 100 to 200 to pushing 300, it's like, I told y'all when the IRS came at me, they was like, yeah, you owe us 39,000. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get my paper. I'm gonna show y'all my email where I owe them 0. Okay, 0. Things are gonna come at you. You know, all type of things. That's why when you get into this, you really want to make sure you dot your I's and cross your T's. Don't get in it with that BS trying to scam, trying to scheme, trying to get over. You have to do it the right way. You really truly do. You have to get it the right way. My husband, he works a job, but my husband makes 6 figures. Now, he broke that barrier. It was hard, but he broke that barrier as well. So we both, you know, helped each other to grow and move into that area. And, you know, it's not easy, y'all. The devil gonna stay busy. He gonna stay trying to stop you. Like, the devil worked through so many people. The devil is not one person or one thing. The devil is anybody, anywhere, anytime. Okay, so yeah, Bach therapies is a very healthy or holistic alternative to antidepressants and things of that nature, or, you know, medication to, you know, give you energy or give you courage. You guys, these are natural essence from flowers, from plants, shall I say, because it's not just flowers, it's plants as well. This is something that I take, you guys. I took one time. I ain't gonna lie, I took one time. I can't remember exactly which one that was, but that thing had me like shifting in and out of different consciousness, shall I say. I take it and it was like I would freeze for a second and I would move into something else and then it come right back and I'm just like, what's that? Like, whoop, did I just, you know, it was that. So I had pulled back from it for a while, but very powerful. Y'all, I think that Zumba instructor does not like people. She kicks our arse. Now, I've been doing the Bodyworks class. I did Zumba, I think, once this week on Monday, but the energy around the people in Zumba is just so not healing. You know what I'm saying? That I just was like, you know what? And I appreciate it because that moved me towards where I need to be, which is in Bodyworks. Now, I've been doing this class for the last 2 weeks and I do it 5 days a week. And this one day right here with her name is Kira, I think it's Kira. She goes in, but she does a lot of jumping. She does a lot of things that mess up the knees to me. When you jump like that onto a hard surface, it messes with the cartilage because you have a meshy cartilage in between your bones, your knees, right? And when you jump, it crushes down on that cartilage and it tends to deteriorate the cartilage. That's why it's really not good to run, like, you know, whether it's on the ground or on a treadmill, because that messes with your knees when you get older. A lot of people think, oh, I should be in great health because I've been working out all my life, but you've really been killing the cartilage in between your knees. So That's why you don't see me running, and I don't like to do a lot of jumping and things of that nature, especially where you land on top of a hard surface. A treadmill is actually a little bit better than running outside if you want to run, because a treadmill does give you a little bit of a softer surface to land on. But yeah, she does a lot of hard things for the knees, and she's not a small girl. I don't know how she does it. She be jumping, she squat, and she do a full jump. I'm like, so anywho, I did 40 minutes of that class. That's all I had in me today, y'all. Like I said, it is Thursday right now. Tomorrow's the 4th of July, and I've been doing that class all week. Like, I've been going every day. So I'm doing the weights on my arms as well as squats and stuff, so my legs are a little noodle. Okay, so I don't have that full strength, but anywho, it's worth it. All of the working out I've been doing. Remember, I had got up to like 200 and I think 10 plus pounds, y'all. So your girl got to work that out. I went to the Benz dealership yesterday. I think I showed y'all. So the light went off, but they said it must have been something with the sensors when they redid it. So yeah, they said that they reset it. They didn't see anything wrong with the tire, so it must have been the sensors. But now I can't get my dashboard to play what I had, y'all. I'm gonna go up in there every day this week, and I'm just gonna get candy and snacks. But I don't need none of that. I'm trying to stay away from candy and snacks. And they give you the big bags. They don't give you the little small bags like Range Rover. They give you the big, damn near family size bags. Okay, and they give you the full size. If they have bars or whatever, Snicker bars and all of that, you get the king size. They don't have the little small regular size. You get the king size, and you get like as much as you want. Because I think I took like 3 items. I took 2 of the king size turtles again, and I took some cheese, some grilled cheese crackers. But and I forgot to get the mug. But anywho, I'm finna get home. I'm finna get dressed. Well, not really get dressed, but I'm finna shower. I need to wash my hair for real. And I had burnt my hand yesterday, so I burnt my finger. So you know, trying to wash your hair with a finger that's burning, so that's why I saved that for today. But yeah, y'all, let me go ahead and get home. Rita'S today with my daughter. Let's see. Her daddy said he want I think he said a pineapple.
He want a pineapple.
That's what he said. He said pineapple, lemon, or some shit. Hey, let's go down there and see. What he said, they got a pina colada. He gonna have to come in here. Cause they got Italian ice. Oh, okay. All right, so she got, what is that called, Tyler?
Cookie Monster.
Cookie Monster. I'm getting banana cream pie. And Bae is gonna get a Italian ice. He's gonna get a pina colada. Y'all, did y'all ever know they had cookies and cream Italian ice? Oh my God.